Another of the lingering pains of adamant, your worship. Sir Ruth is a senior warden of the Order. She was one of the many who slit the throat of another to bind a demon. She does not contest this. In fact, she surrendered to us. She requests no mercy. She wants the public justice of the headman's axe.
You were free to rejoin your comrades, and yet you present yourself here.
There is no excuse for my actions. I murdered another of the Order. That blood marks me more than the Blight ever could.
Accepting their actions while thralls of Corypheus, many treaties allow wardens any extreme if it opposes the Blight.
I can't do it. I can't use the greater good to justify my crimes, as if it would create a future I could be a part of. It is wrong that this broke me. I've done worse with full sanction. I can do nothing except be an example of the cost.
We doubt when we're safe, when Blight is not at our throat. I can't judge a warden, Sir Ruth. No one has that right.
You have more faith in the Order than we ourselves have.
We've an interesting development, Inquisitor. A petition from citizens of Val Royeaux. They wish to know what Andraste said to you in the Fade.
They think she spoke to me?
Even Leliana can't trace the rumor's origin. It may be expedient to respond to those asking for Andraste's words.
It's not Andraste who saved me.
Few people outside Skyhold know it was Divine Justinia who delivered you from the Fade. You could attempt to tell Val Royeaux citizens the truth, though it may not be as inspiring as they hope.
Tell these petitioners Andraste said she cares for us, always, as she walks by the Maker's side.
A fine sentiment. We will have it proclaimed in Val Royeaux. A pleasure.
How do you stay so civil with everyone, Josephine?
Bonds of circumstance among the nobility are fickle. Civility is the only constant everyone admires. And I do deplore rudeness in those who know better.
Does it even become a strain, sometimes?
Well, it can be trying. There is no shortage of self-regard among the nobility. The game can be wearying, discouraging, and extremely baneful. But honestly, I'd miss meeting people. I've made the most fascinating friends.
One good thing about becoming Inquisitor has been meeting so many different people.
I'm pleased. I imagine we appear a strange bunch to those outside our circle. Mages, Templars, Seekers, and an apostate elf are not often found working in harmony. Or at all.
Let's speak later.
Goodbye. Inquisitor?
All right.
Let's see what we have.
At your
Yes?
orders.
Does Antiva law force you to marry? Can't you break off the betrothal?
In theory, I very easily could. In reality, if I reject Lord Otranto without proper niceties, it will scar my family's name. Disentangling myself from the engagement will take months. Or years.
While you're worried about your family, what happens to us?
I cannot be with you until the question of this engagement is settled. It is simply not my own reputation. It is my family's. I do not have the right to risk it. As much as I might wish to. Why did this become so dreadfully complicated?
Tell me again about this Antivan lord your parents engaged you to.
Adorno Ciel Otranto? His family runs several shipping companies in Antiva that do very well. Of the man's temper and disposition and habits, I know nothing. Well, Mother claims he enjoys sailing and dueling, but what Antivan lord doesn't?
You don't favor this marriage, Josephine, do you?
Certainly not. If I hadn't met you, perhaps I'd have been amenable, but honestly, you've no worry.
If I dueled this Lord Otranto, I could force him to give up his betrothal with you.
But you could be hurt. Dueling is a very precise sport. Men and women spend years perfecting their skills with a rapier. I couldn't bear to think of my family putting you in any further danger. Again.
Let's speak later.
Farewell.
Your worship, may I deliver a message from Lord Adorno Ciel Otranto of Antiva? His lordship accepts your request for a duel for the affection of Lady Montelier. He awaits your pleasure in Val Royeaux.
Tell Lord Otranto I look forward to settling this honorably.
At once, Inquisitor. He wishes you a speedy...
I am Lord Otranto of Antiva, rightfully betrothed of Lady Josephine Montillier. Songs of your exploits have spread to my city, Inquisitor. It's humbling to make your acquaintance. It is a pity it will not last longer. Before we duel, I trust you find the weapon to your satisfaction.
I trust you've made this a fair fight, Lord Otranto.
Upon my honor. Shall we begin? An admirable start, Inquisitor. Perhaps not all Kunari are the simple peasants rumors paint them to be. I'm glad Lady Montillier isn't here, exquisite as I've heard her appearance to be. Cutting you down in front of Josephine would have given a poor first impression of House Otranto to my bride.
Don't worry. I'll be sure to tell Josephine you fought bravely.
I admire your fearlessness, but you cannot hope.
Stop!
Josephine!
Lady Montillier, what a pleasure to...
What are you doing?
Josephine, I can't take the chance that you might have to marry him.
That's not your decision. The Inquisition needs you. I need you. Yet you threw yourself into danger. Why do this? Why risk everything we've built? Why risk your life?
Because I love you!
You do?
She does?
Yes, Josephine. I love you so much.
I love you too.
Well fought.
Lord Otranto.
I'd assumed your liaison with the Inquisitor was an affair of passion or convenience, Lady Montillier. But I'm not fool enough to stand in the way of true affection. The Otrantos regretfully withdraw the terms of our betrothal.
Thank you.
Do not thank me. I know when I'm outmatched.
I'm sorry I didn't tell you about arranging the duel.
Given that you're in one piece, body and dignity, I forgive you. Just do kiss me again. I can't stop thinking about your duel in Val Royeaux. Running into the middle of the crowd, the noise, the swords flashing. I was so worried for you, but at the same time, well, it was the most exciting thing I've seen in ages.
You do remember what this Inquisition has been doing, don't you?
Allow me to correct myself. The most exciting thing I have seen that didn't threaten to stop my heart. You know, when I first laid eyes on you back at Haven, I hadn't an inkling we'd become so close.
At least tell me your breath was stolen away by my incredible beauty.
You are too much. These moments seem so dear, especially given your greater calling. Sometimes I must remind myself that I'm required to share you with the rest of the world.
The world may want my time, Josephine, but you have my heart.
Then I count myself happy, beyond compare.
Inquisitor. I have been thinking. You remember everything now, yes? The explosion at Haven, the Fade, escaping the breach. In your report, you said Justinia was with you. But only you emerged in the end. Why? Why were you the only survivor?
She knew it was either her or me. And she wanted me to live.
Of course. Of course she did. That's just like her. Her message to me. I failed you too. I'm not sure I understand what that means. Did you say anything else? Anything at all? Please, if you remember.
I'm sorry, Liliana. That was it.
There are no answers in the Fate. Only illusions. A warped mirror. Justinia has never failed me. I was her left hand. Now she's dead. I failed her. Your open support for the mages likely earned you enemies. Our agents will monitor the situation. If the most opposed can be identified, we may still turn this to our advantage.
You're not planning assassinations, are you?
I was planning to unleash Josephine on them. She kills with kindness. Regardless, I applaud you for the courage to stand up for the mages.
Anything I should know?
I've agents stationed by the ruins of Haven should Corypheus or his lackeys return. So far nothing, and the breach has been quiet for some time. There is something at least.
I'll leave you to your work.
A pleasure.
Let's speak later.
Goodbye.
We have to reach the Empress before Corypheus. The only question is, how?
We know how. I have our way in. The real question is, where is our enemy hiding? At the urging of Grand Duchess Florian, the Empress is holding a ball. Absolutely everyone will be there. During the festivities, Celine will be meeting for peace talks with the usurper Duke Gaspard and Ambassador Briala.
The assassin must be hiding within one of these factions.
Do we need to go to the peace talks? The Empress must have personal guards. We could just warn her she's in danger.
We've made the attempt, but...
It seems that our messages never reached her. Someone intercepted them.
It's better that we don't leave this to chance. If Orlais falls to Corypheus, no land is safe.
What do we know about Duke Gaspard?
The man who would have been Emperor. He's Celine's cousin, and was first in line to inherit the throne when Emperor Florian died. Celine outmaneuvered him. She won over the Council of Heralds, who hold authority over title disputes. She became Empress, and he a general in the Imperial Army. He's well loved by the troops. He's also a Chevalier. Most of their number sided with him when he turned on the Empress.
Aren't the Chevaliers part of the army? Why would they follow the Duke?
Most Chevaliers are sworn to serve the crown, but that does not give them faith in the person wearing it. The Empress has tried to improve relations with Ferelden and Navarra. The Chevaliers see her as anti-military. They believe Gaspard could lead the Empire back to the glory of Draken's expansion years.
Who is this Ambassador Briala?
An ambassador in name only, she has organized the elves of Halam Sharal into an underground army. The Empress invited her to the peace talks in a bid to gain the elves' alliance in the war. That would be scandal enough, without the rumor that Briala is a jilted lover of Celine's. A personal grudge and a network of saboteurs at her command. Promising lead.
Wait, the Elven leader is a jilted lover of the Empress?
It's not widely known, just a rumor whispered among the palace servants a few years ago. If it's true and were to get out, the Empress and an elf. The scandal could destroy Celine's court. Even if a lie, Briala could use it to blackmail the Empress. She has some connection to the throne.
Tell me everything we know about the Empress.
Empress Celine is a renowned diplomat and reformer. She works tirelessly to secure peace for the Empire. Unfortunately, many Orlesians view peace as complacency. She has yet to name an heir, leaving the future of the Empire in doubt if anything happens to her. Especially when the next in line is her cousin Gaspard, who's made few friends on the Council of Heralds.
Celine is surrounded at all times by countless guards, courtiers, servants, and vassals. What better place for an assassin to hide than the Empress's own household?
How can Gaspard still be next in line while he wages war against his Empress?
The title Grand Duke indicates that he was a prince before the Empress took the throne.
You've given me plenty to think about.
With Gaspard and Celine's armies entrenched, we cannot openly march troops to the palace.
My agents will ensure your soldiers get inside. But it must be a few at a time to avoid attention.
Understood. Just give the word, and we'll begin.
The political situation in Halam Shiral hangs by a thread. The Empress fears our presence could sever it. The Grand Duke is only too happy to have us at the ball as his guests, so our invitation comes from him. Whether we act as his allies or upset the balance of power, he gains an opportunity, if not a clear advantage.
Inquisitor Adar, it is my great pleasure to meet you. The rumors coming out of the Western Approach say you battled an army of demons. Imagine what the Inquisition could accomplish with the full support of the rightful Emperor of Orlais.
Exactly what would be required to get that Imperial support?
I am not a man who forgets his friends, Inquisitor. You help me, I'll help you. My lady, are you prepared to shock the court by walking into the Grand Ball with a hateful usurper? They will be telling stories of this into the next age.
I can't imagine that crowd has seen anything better than us in their entire lives.
You're a woman after my own heart, my lady. As a friend, perhaps there is a matter you could undertake this evening. This elven woman, Briala, I suspect that she intends to disrupt the negotiations. My people have found these ambassadors all over the fortifications. Sabotage seems the least of their crimes.
That sounds like something I should look into.
Be as discreet as possible. I detest the game, but if we do not play it well, our enemies will make us look like villains. We're keeping the court waiting, Inquisitor. Shall we?
Is that the Inquisitor?
An ox? Impossible.
That's not the Inquisitor. It's just somebody's pet.
Oh! Wait there! Whatever your name is, have you seen a ring? important. And I need it back. It was a gift from the Countess Montbelliard. Enchanted by the Fomari. I cannot go into the ball without it.
That's a terrible predicament.
If the Countess finds out, make her have mercy. Should you happen upon it, Maker, what am I going to do if I cannot find my ring?
Is this the ring you were looking for?
You are a treasure! I cannot believe you found it! You have saved me a lifetime of mortification. How can I... Enjoy the party.
Is that the Inquisitor?
It cannot be. Surely not.
Is it true the Inquisitor was headed out of the faith by Andraste?
Inquisitor, a moment, if you please. I must warn you before you go inside. How you speak to the court is a matter of life and death. It is no simple matter of etiquette and protocol. Every word, every gesture is measured and evaluated for weakness.
I'm not intimidated by stuffy Orlesian nobles.
These people burn cities as a diversionary tactic and assassinate one another as a feint. The game is like wicked grace played to the death. You must never reveal your cards. When you meet the Empress, the eyes of the entire court will be upon you. You are safer in the Fade with the Fear Demon.
You are just full of joy and light this evening.
Everything will be fine. Andraste, watch over us all.
Gaspar never struck me as pious. You must think he gained some military advantage with
To
the
have this
Inquisition.
jacket let out a little.
What is Gaspar up to?
I had hoped to tour the Royal Wing Gardens again.
I have heard they are the finest in the Empire. It's such a pity the wing is sealed. I heard Celine was having the entire wing redecorated. But the timing...
How long can Orzammar hold out with trade disrupted? We have reserves of food supplies for that. But the king wants trade resumed before panic starts.
How can they call this a vestibule? It's a foyer.
Please, it's barely half the
And now presenting Grand Duke Gaspard de Chalon, and accompanying him, Lady Inquisitor Adar. Vanquisher of the rebel mages of Ferelden, crusher of the vile apostates of the mage underground, champion of the blessed Andraste herself.
Did you see their faces? Priceless.
Accompanying the Inquisitor, Lord Dorian Pavus, member of the Circle of Arantium, son of Lord Magister Hallward Pavus of Azariel, the Iron Bull, leader of the famed mercenary company Bull's Chargers.
Cousin, my dear sister.
Grand Duke, we are always honored when your presence graces our court.
Don't waste my time with pleasantries, Celine. We have business to conclude.
We will meet for the negotiations after we have seen to our other guests.
Inquisitor?
Lady Inquisitor, we welcome you to the Winter Palace. Allow us to present our cousin, the Grand Duchess of Leeds, without whom this gathering would never have been possible.
What an unexpected pleasure. I was not aware the Inquisition would be part of our festivities. We will certainly speak later, Inquisitor.
Your arrival at court is like a cool wind on a summer's day.
I'm delighted to be here, Your Majesty.
We have heard much of your exploits, Inquisitor. They have made grand tales for long evenings. How do you find Halam Shiral?
I've never seen anything to equal the Winter Palace.
We hope you will find time to take in some of its beauties. Feel free to enjoy the pleasures of the ballroom, Inquisitor. We look forward to watching you dance.
Inquisitor, a word when you have a moment.
Tell me, lads, how are my men? Are they in good health? Do they want for anything? Inquisitor?
Josephine! Oh, Josephine! Is this her?
Inquisitor, please allow me to present to you my younger sister, Yvette Gabriella Montillier.
There can never be too many Lady Montilliers in Thedas, can there?
Inquisitor, I've heard so much about you, but not as much as I want. Josephine writes, but she never tells me anything. Is it true? You and Josephine are going to elope and move to the Anderfells and join the Grey Wardens and fight Darkspawn? Yvette, I want to know.
Rumors exaggerate many things, Lady Yvette.
It sounded so romantic.
This may be my only chance to hear about when Josephine was a girl.
Oh yes, as she told you about when she was 10 and...
Yvette.
Stop. Fine. What about when we were climbing the cliffs by the...
No.
She once told the Duke of...
Absolutely not.
She still plays with her doll collection when no one's looking.
Yvette! That's absurd. Absolutely preposterous.
Tell me about yourself, Lady Yvette. This is the first time I've encountered any of Josephine's family.
She would forget to mention the artists. I've been studying painting under Antiva's royal tutors. You should be proud, Josie. I'm going to be exhibiting my work next season in the city's biggest salon.
Have you actually sat down and finished the painting yet?
I must wait for my inspiration.
And I must wait for your tutor's bits.
Enjoying the ball?
I see many of...
The dancing is so dull, Your Worship. But the Empress's gallery is magnificent.
Yvette.
Sorry, Josie.
Go on, Josephine.
Half Royal must be empty. So many of the Empire's finest are in attendance. They've noticed the Empress paying you special attention, but they don't quite know how to take advantage of it yet. This uncertainty won't last long, I'm afraid.
Which power should the Inquisition throw its weight behind?
Celine has held the throne successfully for years. I see no profit in ousting her. Gaspard has run military campaigns, but never a kingdom. His transition would be, let us say, chaotic.
I'll see you later.
Another time.
Can you believe the Inquisition fill its ranks with apostates?
You just know that will end.
How could the Empress afford to renovate the palace without war going on?
I heard that it's... and renovations of...
Perhaps we can speak later, Inquisitor. Smile, Commander. You're so handsome when you smile.
Please, Inquisitor, did you need something? The sooner we track down this infiltrator, the better.
Have you noticed anything out of the ordinary?
Not yet. It would be easier if people would stop talking to me. Other people. Not you.
Do you have any advice?
Orlesian social events don't fall within my area of expertise. There are a few here we can trust. Be careful.
You've attracted a following. Who are all these people?
I don't know, but they won't leave me alone.
I take it you're not enjoying yourself.
At this point, the headache I'm developing is preferable to the company.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
Gaspard's claim to the throne is fair. Orlais needs someone capable of responding to the crisis at hand. A military-minded leader seems the best option.
We'll talk later.
I await your signal.
I still remember the day they came to tell me.
Quickly! We can't leave the Delancers this long without
Good. I was hoping it would catch you. What did the Duke say?
He points the finger at Ambassador Briala.
The Ambassador is up to something, but she can't be our focus. The best place to strike at Celine is from her side. Empress Celine is fascinated by mysticism, foreseeing the future, speaking with the dead, that sort of rubbish. She has an occult advisor, an apostate who charmed the Empress and key members of the court as if by magic. I've had dealings with her in the past. She is ruthless and capable of anything.
How can Celine openly keep an apostate in the Imperial Court?
The Imperial Court has always had an official position for a mage. Before now, it was little better than court jester. Vivian was the first to turn that appointment into a source of real political power. When the circles rebelled, technically every mage became an apostate. The word lost much of its strength.
It sounds exactly like the person we're looking for.
She's worth investigating. Can't be sure of anything here. Both leads point toward the guest wing. It's a promising place to start. I'll coordinate with our spies to see if I can find anything better. I will be in the ballroom if you need me.
Leave us.
Interesting.
The package is in the guest wing. Upper room.
The one of the garden. Statuette.
Does anyone really think the war will end tonight?
The Empress does.
Gaspard is waiting.
Waste of time. Might be...
Philippe should have returned hours ago, dallying with some serving girl while I deal with Gaspard's vitriol.
Awfully selfish of this, Philippe. Running off to play and leaving you with all the work.
I've half a mind to inform the Dowager. That would teach him to shirk his duties to roll some elven maid. Tonight of all night. Thank you for listening to me rant. You are too kind, Inquisitor.
Well, well, the Inquisitor. Here as a guest of my nephew, no less. I'm curious.
I didn't know the Grand Duke was your nephew.
He's my brother's eldest boy. Always a difficult child, Gaspard. Never listened, never did what he was told. He was raised a prince. All his life we told him he would be emperor. It was his destiny, his duty. What else should he do with his life if not fight for his destiny?
Have you noticed anything strange this evening?
My niece Florian hasn't spoken to me all evening. That's not like her.
What can you tell me about the Civil War?
If you are hoping for insight, you've come to the wrong man. It's war. It is brutal, and terrible, and sometimes necessary. There's nothing more to say.
Another time, my lord. Waste of time.
Get these pastries out to the diplomats.
The Duchess has asked for too many. I can't carry them all.
You got anything that needs killing? Because the nobles keep messing with me and they think I don't know they're doing it. This keeps up, I'm gonna wear somebody's skull as my fancy little mask.
Look at this with the eyes of a Ben Hasrath, and tell me what you see.
It's a mess. Everyone's trying so hard to hide that they're walking around in plumage. Makes it tough to spot the dangerous lies, as opposed to the normal stuff. Oh, but that couple over there with the silver masks? The woman's doing one of the nobles, and the guy's doing two different servants.
What do you think of the masks the nobles are wearing?
They're no good as disguises, and they don't cover the mouth or hide body language, so they're not much help for lying. As fashion goes, I don't know. I've seen dumber.
Anything catching your eye?
They've got these candied nuts with some kind of spice on them. It's sweet until you swallow, and then, bam! Hot. Also, Orlais has some fine-looking redheads. I go more for the servants personally. Less makeup. Nothing on the assassins, though.
Talk to you later, Bull.
I'll just stay here and eat.
I heard. Did you hear what Gaspar said?
You're too gullible.
His own uncle.
Germain bore his nephew's spite better than...
This way is closed. Please, use the main entrance to the ballroom. Did I see you talking to Duke Cyril de Montfort?
I was merely being polite. Unlike some people.
Give me that. I've seen the way he looks at you.
Well, well. What's this?
You don't want to be here, stranger.
He hasn't made the pickup. It's been hours.
You went into the servants' wing. Nobody's come out of there all night.
I'll tell Briala we have a situation.
Anytime we want to move on to the assassination, just let me know. I'll just...
My lady! My lady Inquisitor!
May we have a word? It is very important.
The Empress has sent us with a message for you.
I'm always honored to hear from Her Majesty.
Oh, she is the honored one, Inquisitor.
Empress Celine is eager to assist the Herald of Andraste in her holy endeavor.
She will pledge her full support to the Inquisition as soon as the usurper Gaspar is defeated.
That's a generous offer.
The Empress believes wholeheartedly that the Inquisition is our best hope for peace in these difficult times.
She looks forward to cementing a formal alliance.
As soon as Gaspar is out of the way.
But we have taken enough of your time.
Please, enjoy the masquerade, Inquisitor.
What were they doing in the western approach?
This is all so familiar. I half expect my mother to materialize from the crowd and criticize my manners.
I appreciate that you were willing to come here.
And expose myself to all this exquisite finery and exotic wines? Such hardship.
Not everyone's likely to be friendly. That's all I meant.
That's true. You'd think I smelled of cabbages the way they wrinkle their noses. It's of no concern, but thank you. I'll be ready for your signal, provided the spicy punch isn't as strong as it seems.
Is this how the elite of Tevinter carry on?
You could almost mistake this for a soiree in the Imperium. The same double-dealing, elegant poison canapes. It's lacking only a few sacrificial slaves and some blood magic. But the night is still young.
Have you seen anything I should know about?
Did you see what that Marquis is wearing? That suit is a greater crime than anything we're looking for.
What if your mother were actually here? Where would we be then?
Short one mage after he's dragged out by his earlobe.
I'm having difficulty picturing that.
Picture me a young boy of 5 years then. She certainly always has.
Try.
You asked.
This is a private conversation.
You must be mistaken.
No, I'm quite certain it was blood on the tiles.
If they're playing the game, they're not doing it very well. You don't leave evidence if you play to win.
With Gaspard and that elf woman here, the only one playing to win is Celine.
Have you heard from your nephew?
Not since his regiment joined the fighting.
faces talk even when they aren't moving. Silk on satin on skin, always wanting, chaste but chaste, too many.
Are you all right, Cole? You seem distracted. More than usual.
They have faces inside their faces, lying with a layer that tells the truth. I don't know how to help them.
Have you observed anything happening yet?
Leliana has many faces. When she puts on a new one, she changes all the way down.
What are you doing, Cole?
A fallen fan can cut like a kiss. Hot breath from the wrong boy on the naked nape of the neck. I helped until they made me stop. Now they've all forgotten.
Stay out of trouble, Cole.
Socks get wet when the tide rises.
Waste of time. Interesting. Waste of time.
Lady Solange Lévesque, Marquise of Montvert, Ambassador to the Court of Devara, accompanying the ambassador...
All the glances here. Maker, I hope not.
Are you happy to see me at all?
Inquisitor?
Hello?
I'll see you later.
Another time.
Lady Nightingale.
Revered Mother Lucille of the Chantry of Arlezon, third cousin of Duke Gratien of Arlezon.
Are all the glances here? Maker, I hope not.
Look at Lady Cambion's slippers, trimmed with pearls and emeralds, and those buckles. Toss her into the lake and she'll sink right to the bottom. What a disaster.
There's a Tevinter assassin on the loose, and you're concerned about buckles? On shoes?
Everyone needs a hobby. Besides, you can learn a great deal about a person from their clothing. Gold and jewels on a dancing slipper. A slipper is easily lost and finds itself in the dust and dirt. She is unconcerned with the possibility of losing the shoe or soiling it. A vulgar display of wealth. But Lady Cambion's family has recently lost most of its holdings. They have their title, but little else. So, how did Cambion acquire such a grand shoe, What has she done? Who has she bedded? These are all useful questions, no?
You're different here than in Skyhold. More approachable, perhaps.
This is Halam Shiral, Inquisitor. This is the Imperial Court. This is the beating heart of the Great Game. Of course, everyone is wearing a mask. I learned this very young. I was still a girl when I attended my first ball. All this, the smiles, the small talk, it is a dance. And like any dance, it can be learned. For some of us, it has become so familiar that the steps may be performed in our sleep.
Who do you think the Inquisition should support?
What we need most of all is a stable Orlais. Either Celine or Gaspard can give us that.
I found this out. I'm not sure of its value.
Very interesting. It may not help our investigation, but we can put it to use. A little more dirt like this, and we might have some leverage in the court. If you find more, let me know.
Have you seen anything interesting?
Oh yes. Halam Shiral is lousy with scandals and scheming. But no sign of our Tevinter infiltrator, I'm afraid.
I should go. Be on your guard.
I always...
Another time, perhaps? Boring.
Gaspard is wasting his time. Nothing he does could win over the Council of Heralds now.
Did you hear what Gaspard said to you?
I told you this is closed. Use the main doors.
Good evening, Inquisitor.
Inquisitor Adar, how delightful. I am Lady Marcelette, court historian to Her Imperial Majesty.
What exactly does a court historian do?
I am responsible for the historical records of the court. I maintain our library and record all official proceedings.
Are you here to chronicle the events of the evening for posterity?
Oh yes, this is a momentous occasion. The first meeting between the Grand Duke and Her Majesty since the war began. Even if, Maker forbid, the talks should fail, it is an important moment in the history of the Empire.
Good evening, Lady Marcelette.
Another time, perhaps.
Impératrice, et ton règne que nous honorons.
Is it true the Inquisitor was headed out of the faith by Andraste?
only say that because you fancy the Empress's pet apostate. It sickens me to think of the chaos those Maleficarum are causing across the Empire.
Even you cannot deny that the Templars abandoned the faithful in their darkest hour. How can you condone that? They are the ones who should be brought to heel, if you ask me.
I need to get back before I missed. That's the bell. We should get back to the ballroom.
Is it true the Assembly is considering naming another paragon? 3 in a single generation.
Her name has been suggested by years of decision. Surface Smith? Unlikely.
That would be the second bell. Fashionably late now. Third bell. Crap. Now I'm just plain late.
Well, well. What have we here? The leader of the new Inquisition, fabled herald of the faith. Delivered from the grasp of the Fade by the hand of blessed Andraste herself. What could bring such an exalted creature here to the Imperial Court, I wonder? Do even you know?
We may never know. Courtly intrigues and all that.
Such intrigues obscure much, but not all. I am Morrigan. Some call me advisor to Empress Celine on matters of the arcane. You have been very busy this evening, hunting in every dark corner of the palace. Perhaps you and I hunt the same prey.
I didn't realize I was watched so closely.
All eyes are upon you, Inquisitor. Indeed, you distract from more important matters.
Such as?
Such as the unwelcome guest I recently found and killed within these very halls. An agent of Tevinter. So I offer you this, Inquisitor. A key found on the Tevinter's body. Where it leads, I cannot say. Yet, if Celine is in danger, I cannot leave her side long enough to search. You can.
You left Celine alone? Is that wise?
I must return to her anon, but she is safe enough, for the moment. 'Twould be a great fool who strikes at her in public in front of all her court and the Imperial Guard.
What's your interest in protecting Empress Celine? Are you her bodyguard?
Do I seem a bodyguard to you? If anything were to happen to Celine, eyes would turn first to her occult advisor, even if they knew otherwise. There are sharks in the water, and I will not fall prey to them. Not now, not ever.
Why did you kill the agent? He might have had useful information.
I would not have slain the man on sight had he not attacked me first. Why? Undoubtedly, I caught him in an illicit act. I did not know from whence he came until after the battle, and regret only that I could not capture him alive. What intentions the Imperium has here, I suspect you know far better than I.
Briala's people are whispering about disappearances in the servants' quarters. This key may lead there.
The ambassador does have eyes and ears everywhere, does she not? Proceed with caution, Inquisitor. Enemies abound, and not all of them aligned with Tevinter. What comes next will be most exciting.
Ah, there's the Dowager. Don't make eye contact.
She wouldn't want to speak with a nobody like you anyway, cow.
Another time, perhaps?
Mistress Yeah. So many crimes of fashion.
I found this out. I'm not sure if it's
Excellent. Yeah. So many crimes of fashion. Oh, yes. But no sign of our Tevinter infiltrate.
I should...
Why would the Empress invite that elf woman?
The game.
Inquisitor, to what do we owe this honor?
We will be happy to assist you if we can.
Her Imperial Majesty is unfortunately occupied at present.
I'd like to know more about the negotiations. It seems strange to hold peace talks during a ball.
Oh, do your people have no customs surrounding great occasions? How sad.
By Orlesian tradition, moments of great solemnity are celebrated with revels and feasts.
While joyous occasions are given time for reflection and contemplation.
We must never forget that life is both bitter and sweet.
The ball is an opportunity to celebrate life and hope for the future, while we mourn those killed in the war.
What can you tell me about the other parties involved in the talks?
Gaspard is a decorated general, much
He is better suited to the battlefield than the throne, and he would gladly make his palace a war.
He's also fiendishly charming.
Lady Briala has great intentions to change the lives of the elves.
Even if her plans could never work and would only provoke hate crimes against
She is an idealist, but her lack of patience could prove disastrous.
What is the Empress trying to accomplish with the
Peace is her only objective, Inquisitor.
Gaspard and Briala are driven by personal ambitions, but those desires threaten the
The war must end tonight. We must conclude this to deal with the larger crisis.
If the evening ends favorably for the Empress...
Her Imperial Majesty brings the might of the Orlesian Empire with her friendship.
She is also a respected diplomat and world leader. She can forge alliances for you with Rivain, Antiva, the Underfells.
And she throws the best parties.
Perhaps you could tell me something then. We haven't been properly introduced.
How rude of us to forget.
Milady Inquisitor, may I present Lady Couteau?
And Lady Colombe.
And of course, Lady Fleur. We are the Empress's ladies-in-waiting.
I'd like to know more about Empress Celine.
Her Majesty has held the throne since she was just 16 years old.
She is respected and beloved, not just in Orlais, but across Thedas.
She doesn't care much for liver, and she drinks her tea black.
My investigations turned up something interesting. It concerns the Grand Duke. It concerns Ambassador Briala. She killed ambassadors from both Celine and Gaspard and forged documents to both sides.
How despicable!
After the Empress
She's better at the game than we thought.
Her people have infiltrated every part of the Winter Palace.
This is extremely alarming.
She could be spying.
How exciting!
My investigations turned up something interesting. My investigations turned up something interesting. Good evening.
Until next time, Inquisitor.
Do take care.
Enjoy the masquerade!
Does anyone have a report of casualties on the days?
My friend, come in, have a drink. What can I do for you? If you're as delighted by the court as I am, there's a decanter of port around here.
I discovered something you might be interested in. It's about you, in fact. Want to tell me why you were threatening the members of the Council of Heralds?
The language of politics, Inquisitor. If you cannot bribe politicians, you threaten them into backing down. Most of the Council are Celine's lapdogs. There was little chance I could win their support any other way.
I discovered something you might be interested in. It's about Briala. She's killed ambassadors and changed their documents.
You can't prove this. Now that is interesting. What is she trying to accomplish? She bears closer watching than I thought.
She's got people hidden among the servants all over the palace.
I suspected as much, but couldn't confirm it. She's a difficult adversary to predict. There's no telling what move she intends to make.
We'll speak later, Duke Gaspard.
Another time, friend.
It's been too long since I've had any word from Valoyaux.
Was that really the
Inquisitor?
Herald of Andras?
Hello. I thought she'd be glowing.
I'll see you.
Another time.
Did you say Gaspard does?
He and Celine aren't getting anywhere.
Where are Alban and Colette?
Who cares? Is that...
worth checking out.
Breath painful, stabbing, and then real stabbing. Lungs full, frothing, scent of apples as it all goes black.
Death by Apple Pie, a lovely poem by our dear friend Cole.
I need to get back before I'm missed. This was no servant. What was he doing here?
He doesn't belong. Even if he weren't dead, he would be wrong.
Is that the Chalon family crest? What have you been up to, Gaspard?
Time to have a word with the Duke.
No! No!
Venatori agents! That must be the Venatori. The Venatori were watching this approach. They're organized.
We should look around.
Fancy meeting you here. You must be Inquisitor Adar. I thought you'd be more impressive. We haven't been properly introduced, have we? I'm Ambassador Briala.
Impressive shot, Ambassador.
Welcome to the Imperial Court, friend. This is our diplomacy at work. You clean this place out. Will take a month to get all the Tevinter blood off the marble. I came down to save or avenge my missing people. But you've beaten me to it.
So, the Council of Herald's emissary in the courtyard. That's not your work, is it?
He was dead when I arrived.
I expected as much. You may have arrived with the Grand Duke, but you don't seem to be doing his dirty work. I knew he was smuggling his chevaliers, but killing a council emissary? Bringing Tevinter assassins into the palace? Those are desperate acts. Gaspar must be planning to strike tonight.
Are you sure he's behind this? He was too easygoing for a man plotting treason.
Don't let his charm blind you. He's Orlesian. That smile is his mask. I misjudged you, Inquisitor. You might just be an ally worth having. What could you do with an army of elven spies at your disposal? You should think about it.
You know how to make a sales pitch, Ambassador. I'll give you that.
I do, don't I? I know which way the wind is blowing. I'd bet coin that you'll be part of the peace talks before the night is over. And if you happen to lean a little bit our way, it could prove advantageous to us both. Just a thought.
Haha, this is great. Even the elves are trying to bribe you.
There's so much conniving and backstabbing here. Makes me homesick.
We are in your debt, Inquisitor.
Thank you, Inquisitor.
Interesting.
Did you see that knife-eared servant girl in the kitchen? The ginger.
Keep talking. I am starting to believe I was there.
I need to get one of those.
Don't we all?
Is it true what they say? You're the Inquisitor, are you not? We heard stories of your accomplishments.
Some of those might have gone a bit far.
I told you, Philippe.
Not everyone fights an archdemon and lives to tell. It's an inspiration.
If you'd like, Commander Cullen could give you all the details of that battle. He's in the ballroom.
Really? But I shouldn't leave my post.
You'd only be gone a moment.
Philippe, the world is coming to an end. If we don't hear this story now, we'll never have a chance.
You're right. Thank you, Inquisitor. Let's go.
Might be something here. Better take a closer look.
Inquisitor Adar. We met briefly. I am Grand Duchess Floriane de Chalon. Welcome to my party.
Is there something I can do for you, Your Grace?
Indeed you can. I believe tonight you and I are both concerned by the actions of a certain person. Come, dance with me. Spies will not hear us on the dance floor.
Should two women really be dancing together?
My dear Inquisitor, we are the most important people in the room. It would be more scandalous if we did not dance. The Tal Vashoth are hardly known for political maneuvering. Just what interest do you have in our little war?
I assure you, the effects of this war reach far beyond the borders of the Orlesian Empire.
Perhaps it does. I should not be surprised to find the Empire is the center of everyone's world.
It took great effort to arrange tonight's negotiations. Yet one party would use this occasion for blackest treason. The security of the Empire is at stake. Neither one of us wishes to see it fall.
I think I can agree with that, yes.
Then you have lifted a terrible burden from my heart, Inquisitor. The world is I know you arrived here as a guest of my brother Gaspard, and have been everywhere in the palace. You are a curiosity to many, Inquisitor, and a matter of concern to some.
There's no need for concern. I've come here to help, Orlais.
Helping Orlais has a variety of meanings depending on whom you ask. Kindness to some is cruelty to others. You cannot be a savior to them all. To some, you must be a monster. Do you even yet know who is friend and who is foe? Who in the court can be trusted?
I only trust the Inquisition. It's every woman for herself here in the Imperial Court. Or so I've heard.
In the Winter Palace, everyone is alone. It cannot have escaped your notice that certain parties are engaged in dangerous machinations tonight.
I have seen a few signs to that effect.
You have little time. The attack will come soon. You must stop Gaspard before he strikes. In the Royal Wing Garden, you will find the captain of my brother's mercenaries. He knows all Gaspard's secrets. I'm sure you can persuade him to be forthcoming. May Andraste guide you, Inquisitor.
Maker's breath. You danced with the Grand Duchess and I didn't prepare you. Are you all right?
The Duchess had some interesting things to say.
Of that, I have no doubt. Were you dancing with Duchess Florian?
More importantly, what happened in the servants' quarters? I heard there was fighting.
I hope you have good news. It appears the peace talks are crumbling.
The Grand Duchess told me there's proof Gaspard is in league with Tevinter.
She offered up her own brother? She's more cutthroat than I realized.
Then, the attack on the Empress will happen tonight.
Warning Celine is pointless. She needs these talks to succeed, and to flee would admit defeat.
Then perhaps we should let her die.
You have an idea, Liliana?
What Corypheus wants is chaos. Even with Celine alive, that could still happen. To foil his plan, the Empire must remain strong. This evening, someone must emerge victorious.
And it doesn't need to be Celine. She's right.
Do you realize what you're suggesting, Liliana?
Sometimes the best path is not the easiest one.
How should I support Briala? I assume she can't be Empress.
She can't. She can, however, be the power behind the throne, with Gaspard.
True. She could never control Celine, not with their history.
So Celine dies and Gaspard takes the throne. Briala would need a way to control him, some kind of leverage.
What did Duchess Florian tell you?
She said Gaspard's mercenary captain is in the Royal Wing, that he knows about the assassination.
Which could be a trap.
Or a lead. Either way, you should search the private quarters in that wing for clues.
Then get me access. And in the meantime, get your soldiers into position.
At once. Be careful, Inquisitor.
Interesting. I had no idea.
So, even Liliana thought this place was dangerous and you wanted to just walk in here. This party is looking up.
Stay back! Oh, thank you.
Are you all right?
I don't think I'm hurt. No one's supposed to be here. Briala said... Oh, I shouldn't have trusted her.
Briala told you to come to this wing of the palace?
Well, not personally. The ambassador can't be seen talking to the servants. We get coded messages at certain locations, but the order came from her. She's been watching the Grand Duke all night. No surprise she wanted someone to search his sister's room.
This wing is sealed. How did you get in here?
Easy. The door was unlocked. One of the others probably handled it.
Is there anyone else who knows the code and the drop location who could have written those orders?
I don't know. Any of us could do it, but... No. No one else would send me here. It had to be Briala.
So this room belongs to the Grand Duchess Floriane?
It used to. This had been her private room in Halam Shiral since she was a child. But this part of the palace was damaged, and the royal family moved to the guest wing.
What were you trying to find in Floriane's old room?
The message didn't say. I should have known it was a setup.
If there's a reason you distrust Briala, I want to hear it.
I knew her. Before. When she was Celine's pet. Now she wants to play revolution, but I remember. She was sleeping with the Empress who purged our alienage.
Would you be willing to testify to that, if I asked?
Absolutely. If the Inquisition will protect me, I'll tell you everything I know about our ambassador.
Most Orlesians would say that's Celine's scandal, not Briala's.
Go to the ballroom. Find Commander Cullen. He'll keep you safe.
Thank you.